You were in Channing's room that night he died, weren't you, Mason?
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. Peter said you were there and you got out behind the panel behind the bookcase.
I don't care what Peter said, Kelly. There's no way we can talk rationally. No point in our talking at all if you refuse to believe anything I tell you.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'll believe anything you say to me again, Mason.
Then why am I here?
Because I'd hoped you'd tell me the truth.
No, not the truth. You wanted me to admit to everything Peter accused me of, but that's not the truth.
You knew Joe was innocent. And not only didn't you come forward, you actually gathered evidence for the prosecution to make sure he had a speedy and just trial. And I remember your words exactly. Speedy and just, Mason. You said he was entitled to that. Mason, you made me testify against Joe when you knew he was innocent. You made me testify against him. I hate you for that, and I hate myself for doing it. And then when Joe got out of prison, you and Peter put your heads together and trumped up that cocaine possession charge against him to make sure he'd go back to prison.
I had that charge dropped, didn't I?
Yeah, only after I forced you to do it, and only after Joe almost got himself killed.
Kelly, why won't you listen to my side of all
You know,
this?
you were probably the one that had the bus windows shot out on his way back from prison, and you're probably responsible for whoever bombed Joe's house that night.
That's a lie. I had nothing to do with either of those incidents. What do you think I am, Kelly?
I think you're a liar, and you're a jealous and vengeful man. I knew you hated Channing, but why Joe, Mason? Why were you so against him? He had already taken the blame for Channing's death, and he'd served his sentence. Oh, but I do know. Of course. You were afraid that he'd keep up with the investigation of who really killed Channing. Right? And then, I suppose if you got out of prison and just took off, everything would have been fine. But he made the mistake of going back to Santa Barbara, back to his home and his family, and back to me. And that's when Peter decided to throw in with you, isn't it? When he started thinking he was losing me to Joe.
Kelly, if you don't calm down, I'm going to have someone have you sedated.
Oh, yeah, I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you, Mason? Someone to put me asleep and shut me up. Yeah, well, first it was Peter and you. And now Peter's telling the truth on you.
Kelly, I'm beginning to think you're having a nervous breakdown.
You know, Mason, you have committed crimes. Big crimes. And I'm going to make sure the world hears about them. And I'm going to see about sending you to prison for years and years. And I don't care if you are my brother.